Hierarchical development versus holistic development. This video is going to be about the one thing that we need to do as a soccer culture so that we can actually win a World Cup someday if we're ever going to be on par with the rest of the world. My name is Seth Taylor. I'm with Ianni Training, and we are a company that's trying to revolutionize the world when it comes to youth sports in the health, mental health, emotional health, psycho-spiritual health, so that we can create a better foundation for player development, which ultimately we want to win a World Cup. That's the goal. On the men's side, we want to win a World Cup someday. That's the real measuring tool as to where our culture has come from. Now, here's the thing. Right now, you see a culture that's turning towards what we could call a holistic model of development. We've always had technical development. We've had tactical development. We've dumped tons of money into developing coaching, developing our tactical and technical understanding of the game, developing skill sets, identifying athletes, this kind of thing. And then finally, our culture came around to starting to develop an awareness of mental and emotional health. So sports psychology has come into things. Now, even some understanding of how trauma works when it comes to anxiety and depression and these types of things that athletes are dealing with. But the problem is this, right? We see it as a holistic thing, meaning we still see what we want to see. Most people are still saying, let's develop good soccer players, technical soccer players, and we're still virtually ignoring the actual mental and emotional development of the human being that is becoming this soccer player. This is why we need to switch from a holistic model to what I would call a hierarchical model, meaning you develop like a pyramid. You can't develop the next level. You can't develop technique on top of a player who's carrying tremendous amounts of trauma and anxiety from being raised in a culture where they are constantly under pressure from a very, very young age to earn everything, to earn love, to earn approval, to earn affirmation. I am inundated every single day with athletes with tremendous amounts of trauma. Players who are being scouted and signing Division I letters of intent, who have so much anxiety that they're like ticking time bombs. I am constantly talking to professional athletes who hate soccer. I have talked to guys on the national team that hate soccer. Right? It's a massive, massive problem that we have. And it's because we as clubs do not develop a culture where we pay attention to the most important thing, the most important ways. Keep the main thing the main thing. If we're building athletes, we're building human beings first, and then we build athletes on top of that platform. Soccer development at this point has almost virtually ignored child development. We've ignored brain development, we've ignored identity development, and it is time for us to begin to build a pyramid that at the base says, how do you develop healthy, confident, grounded human beings? Because if you have that, you can build a very, very good soccer player that has no ceiling and that will continue to improve. The older they get, the more experience they get. There's no real way to stop them. But that's not what we do at this point. We develop players and virtually ignore that emotional development. So what we have is kind of an elephant balancing on a pool cue. I mean, architects get it. You're going to build a strong building, you build a strong foundation first. But for some reason, we refer to foundational things like technical skill, their ability to touch a soccer ball, as opposed to their belief in themselves, their relationship with their own identity, their relationship with their own psychology, their relationship with the game, their relationship with their mother and their father. That is what it means to have a hierarchical development system. And the first clubs to finally recognize this, that we have to dump energy into the actual emotional, psychological, psycho-spiritual development of athletes, where our coaches are awoken to the importance of that. Our parents are awoken and honored as the foundation of all of that. And so that our players benefit from a very healthy upbringing in our culture. You will have players that will begin to shockingly surprise you. That as they're 15, 16, 17, 18, instead of not liking soccer, instead of lacking that motivation, instead of depression and anxiety being a part of the soccer experience, which right now it's the norm, right? Instead of that, you'll have players who love soccer, who play, who improve, who have a beautiful relationship with failure. That is what's needed. You want to run your club correctly, walk into your next coaches meeting, into your next board meeting, and erase the holistic model and write a pyramid and put at the bottom, what's the most important thing? What's the thing that's driving everything? And you pay attention to that, and you will be an innovator in this space, and you will be seen as a revolutionary down the road because you'll be developing players that no one saw coming. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys do it.